Hello. My name is Squeaky the Chinchilla, and the first person who says that I look like if Chudo made a video about Happy Tree Friends gets a one-way ticket to reenacting that scene from Home Alone 2 with the electrified sink. Anyways, Happy Tree Friends is a web animation series created by Mondo Media and has been going since around 1999. The main attraction of the show is the over-the-top and gory deaths of the characters, despite how innocent the show appears at first. Think of it like a love child between Final Destination and Care Bears. This show has a lot to talk about, so much that you could make a giant stack of the information. Like some sort of chart of an iceberg-type creation. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, it is time to discuss the Happy Tree Friends iceberg. This iceberg was not made by me, but rather by Gravity on r/iceberg charts. If you don't know, and I would really be shocked to hear that you don't know considering just how long these kinds of videos have been on YouTube, an iceberg chart is a list of facts about a thing with more common facts at the top and lesser known ones at the bottom. Now this is my first time working with this show, so if you want a better iceberg, go check out Sakor's video in the Happy Tree Friends iceberg, which I will leave a link for in the description. Now enough screwing around, time to dive in. TV series. Happy Tree Friends had a season of 13 half-hour episodes that aired in television, primarily G4 and MTV. This is probably the reason many people know about the show, and something people in the fandom talk about often. This is actually the best animated the show has ever been, since a real animation studio made it, that being the Canadian studio Fat Cat. Banjo Frenzy. Before the show was picked up by Mondo, a pitch pilot was made, simply called Banjo Frenzy. In it, Knock's Barney beats the shit out of three animals, because they laughed at his Guitar Hero gameplay. This pilot is only 20-ish seconds, but Mondo liked it and picked it up. Ski Patrol. Remember those goofy cartoons, where he was learning how to do something, like fish, golf, or lose weight? Well, this is like, if those cartoons had a love child between Final Destination and wait, damn it, I already used that analogy. Point is, Ski Patrol is those cartoons, but with Lumpy learning to be a member of the Ski Patrol and bringing his usual Lumpy shenanigans along with it. This episode is a fan favorite, and I can see why, quite literally, because it has a completely different art style from any other episode in the series. Smoochies. These were simple animations, where you would see the character just standing there. Menacingly! Until you picked one of the three options on the side which would kill them in some way. These were like Tamagotchi, and if there were Happy Tree Friend Tamagotchi, I would absolutely buy one. Kapow. Kapow is a mini-series of Happy Tree Friends shorts about backstories to some of the characters. Ever wanted to see Splendid fight as Evil Twin? Ever wanted to see Mole as a spy? Ever wanted to see why Flippy has PTSD? Well, you better want to see one of those three, because those are the only episodes in it. Yes, they only made 3. Kringles. These are mini episodes themed around Christmas. They are the usual Happy Tree affair that you would expect, from Petunia being beat up by a reindeer to Lumpy pulling an Oppenheimer over a Christmas turkey. They are all charming and a staple to the series. Youtube Copyright School. Wouldn't it be ironic if the series that violates YouTube's community guidelines on violence and gore team up to explain copyright? Well, this definitely is. It's just an episode of the show but without any gore. You know, the reason people tune in. It was negatively received, and we almost never see Mondo address it anymore. I wonder why. Real animals. Now this might refer to one of two things. It could be that the Tree Friends are based off of real animals, or that Happy Tree Friends sometimes has animals that are not anthropomorphic. Either way, there definitely are real animals. Unless someone wants to tell me that flying squirrels aren't real. Dead Eye Darby. This is a mobile app that is like a shooting gallery, but on wheels. And there is only one target. So it isn't like a shooting gallery. The point of the game is to beat the shit out of someone by shooting them in the eye. That's why the game is called that. The game is still active to this day. Flippy and Flippy. Flippy is the most popular character by far, in part due to the fact that he has PTSD and will flip out and start to kill everyone in his wake. If you look anywhere in the fanbase, 9 times out of 10 you will see Flippy mentioned. Don't ask about the 10th one. Happy Tree Fanon. Wow, already we're talking about the fanbase. I really wish we didn't have to. You know what? I'm not going to talk about it. My video, my rules. Who's going to try and? So what model is that? A 45? Happy Tree Fanon is a fan wiki where people post about the show, but mostly just insert their own original characters and fan episodes. It is charming for about 15 seconds until you realize that almost every character is a blatant copy of another. Like how Bangles is just Cuddles but blue with the head of a Friday Night Funkin' mod character. Oh, and it has sex on its chest for some reason. Claw is a short where it is just the tree friends in a claw machine. There are like 5 shorts that end in different ways. That's really all there is to say about that. Realistic deaths. Despite how cartoony the show gets with their deaths, some of them are realistic, like when Andy suffocates from Discord moderator odor, or when Cub plays in a dryer. These aren't really common, but are still there if you look for it. Fan characters in episodes. There was a contest ran to have a fan-made character appear in an episode. The winner appeared in Pep Beef and lost Trixie the Ferret. Another one was held for Halloween, and Ruby the Ram appeared in A Vicious Cycle. Also a unicorn made by one of the Mono creators appeared in Pep Beef 2. That's cool. Wrapping up level 1 is Milk Pong. This is a flash game, where you click at the right time to get a ball into a cup to make Lumpy drink milk. That's it. That's the whole fucking game. There is absolutely nothing else to do in it.
Warning, the following
Section of the Iceberg features acts of self-harm performed by a fictional cartoon skunk for the sake of getting a reaction from the audience.
accordingly
Squeaky and the editor
must insist that no one attempt to recreate or reenact
any act of self-harm, ever, especially the one
performed on
this section of the Iceberg. In addition, my editor will be leaving a timestamp to skip past the section. Layer 2, less common facts but still just above the depths of the unknown. Starting off is 4 on the floor, more specifically, Wishy-Washy. This is the 4th episode of the DD series. Don't try looking it up in Mambo's channel, it isn't there. This is because the second segment of the episode, Wishy-Washy, ends with Petunia doing a cover of that one Johnny Cash song.
I hurt myself today.
Yalad took issue with this, and a lot of fans have a hard time watching the episode because of it. There are still fan re-uploads if you really want to see a cartoon skunk having issues with hygiene. Giggles many boyfriends. So, Giggles has dated almost every male character. Cuddles, Flippy, Russell, mine, even Chrome Marmot. A block of ice. This girl is so down bad for some attention that she will go on a date with Ice Cube. She does seem to have a ship with Cuddles, which, other than Andy and Petunia, is the only real canonical ship. Then again, the show's canon is about as stable as a game of Jenga played in San Francisco. The SSSSS Squad. The Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad is the first episode of the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. But this isn't the same SSSSS Squad, because the SSSSS Squad here is splendid, supremely sensational, stupendously spectacular Super Squad. Which is that episode of Kapow I mentioned earlier where in-universe Superman fights against in-universe Omni-Man or Homelander. Take your pick. The squad itself only shows up at the end. What a bunch of title hogs. Animation errors. Just like any other cartoon, there are bound to be many animation errors. From characters having disproportionate proportions, odds near frames, to that time they gave nutty butt cheeks. There is a wide variety of things to point and laugh at. Honestly, I am tempted to look at these silly frames in a later video, but that is the future, and this is the present. Giggles' mom. Giggles' mom only appeared in a single episode, Helping Helps. In it, we see Giggles' mom, which is just Giggles but taller. We have never seen her after this episode, so I theorize that she went to get milk and is stuck in traffic, which is why we never see her again. COPPA videos. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, also known as COPPA, affected Yalad in a way that made it mark many videos as for kids, which, ironically, most of the videos it did mark were not actually for kids. This includes Happy Tree Friends. I don't remember which episodes, but as far as I know, they are all not for kids now. Yes. In almost every episode Sniffles stars in, he goes up against a family of ants who he wants to eat. Or just because they fuck with him in some way. Regardless, these episodes are kind of controversial due to people saying the ants went too far in some of them. Despite the fan favorite Flippy doing way more than they did. Yes, tricking someone into jumping into a combine harvester by wearing their brother's skin is more respectable than whatever the ants did. Whatever, we'll probably see why the people ate these grapes with legs so much later. Hiatuses. This show has been on hiatus on and off for a while, almost to the point where it has been nearly 10 years without a single original episode that wasn't just a crossover or promotional material. Mobile and Java games. There have been many mobile and Java games released based on the show, like the earlier mentioned Dead Eye Darby, as well as Stranded, which is like Angry Birds but endless, Slap Happy, which is a more violent talking Tom, and Flippy's Flying Frenzy, which is like Flappy Bird, I guess. Characters speaking English. The show doesn't have the characters speak English, although at several points you can hear them say things that kind of sound like English. Things like Disco Bear saying oranges and bananas, Giggles saying thank you, etc. Petunia X Handy. This is one of the more popular ships, as I mentioned earlier. People ship them due to them being a couple in 2 episodes. I love you and my better half, which, to be fair, I think this is the best couple in the show. Tongue in cheek. So, why do people hate the ants? Simple, this episode. What do they do to make people hate them? Nothing really, just mind-controlling sniffles, making him eat an apple with razor blades, put his tongue into a big shred, nail his own tail to the ground, tie it over to the shredded remains of his tongue, spin it around to make his organs fly out of his body like an airplane, and then turn his hollow carcass into a house. Okay, now that I say it out loud, it seems a little extreme.
I'm sorry, I know this is insanely sadistic, Squeaky, but even when editing, I can't stop laughing.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Debatable deaths. These are deaths that aren't really deaths to how people like to argue over, if they count or not. Obviously Flippy slicing Cuddles' insides out is a death, but things like Cub getting spurted by Pop at the end of A Whole Lot of Love, or when Lumpy had a heart attack at the end of A Change of Heart. Although honestly, I think that trying to insert logic into the show about cartoon animals getting eviscerated is silly, so just laugh at them who's having medical issues. As best as I can do. Remember earlier, when I said there were 13 episodes? Well, there are actually 14. Because this one is just 20 seconds of Lumpy knitting a weirdly shaped sock. For his antler. Sure, whatever borrow. Goreless videos. The name says it all. Some people like to make HTF episodes without gore. Specifically one person that I will be discussing later on in the Iceberg. My honest opinion? Yes, take out the part of the show that gets arguably more eyes talking about it, the gore, and just completely don't talk about it. At that point, just watch literally any other cartoon. The Carpal Tunnel of Love. This is a song made by Fallout Boy. Which fun fact I keep mistaking for the guy from Fallout who is named Vault Boy, so I keep bringing up Fallout Boy and forgetting that Nick Valentine is still not canon. Only a matter of time. But back to the Carpal Tunnel of Love, there was a music video made which is an original Happy Tree Friends episode, where Cuddles and Giggles are on a date, which goes about as well as one would expect. It's really good and I highly recommend checking it out. And wrapping up layer 2 is HTF references in other Mondo Media shows. So, not a lot of people know this, but Mondo Media makes other shows aside from the Funny Animal Gets show. And HTF does appear in a few of them, most notably Dick Figures, The God and Devil Show, and World's Dumbest. And that will do it for part 1 of this iceberg. There's so much crap in this iceberg that I am splitting it up into 3 parts. You just saw part 1, unless you are blind, in which case I am sorry. Part 2 will cover layers 3 and 4, and part 3 will cover the rest.
Squeaky, I don't think you counted them all.
Wait, what do you mean I didn't count them all? Hold in, let me check. God damn it, I missed 2. Okay, let me just push these a bit together, and there we go. Problem solved. So stay tuned for those, I guess. Okay, Squeaky saying goodbye now, goodbye.